Hello everyone and welcome to another presentation on Bionic. Bionic aims to be an Ionic CLI clone for Blazor projects. If you are not familiar with Blazor projects, please visit blazor.net and play with it. It's a fantastic framework that Microsoft is currently working on. It's already on its 0.5 release and they just added server-side rendering to it and it's looking honestly really good. It's built on the top of C#, compiled into WebAssembly, runs really fast, and it's getting there. In this presentation, I'm going to talk about the new features of Bionic. So if you want to learn a little bit more about Bionic and how it's organized, please go see my previous videos in this channel. And you'll learn how SCSS is used in a Bionic application and how the app is structured, how you can add services and things like that. In this case, I'm just going to introduce the new features, which are plugin architecture. And the first plugin that I'm adding is an Electron plugin to the new Bionic platform command. And soon enough I intend to also add a capacitor plugin that will allow us to run use capacitor to run Ionic in Android applications and also iOS, although in iOS the experience that I had so far was not very good, but it's getting there. In addition to that, I'm also introducing the blast scripting. So blast scripting is something very small that I have introduced that allows us to run Bionic and .NET commands in order to facilitate the build process or replaying commands that could then just become many of them in order to do a sequence of intents that we might have for a given command sequence. So without further ado, let's try to go from 0 to Electron using Blazor and Bionic. So the first thing we need to do is .NET new Blazor to Blazor, let's call it Bionic app. Okay, and so let's go into this directory and let's do a Bionic start to initialize Bionic project. All right, so now we're going to do a Bionic serve and hopefully the app should be up and running just fine. In the meantime, we're going to bring the Visual Studio Code. Alright, I see the app is running. Let's reload this page in here that I already have ready to go into it. And there we go. So the app is running and everything looks fine. So the next step, because Visual Studio Code. No, you did not. Did you? You did. There we go. Alright, that was strange. That's why it's free, I guess. Alright, so we have code. I know that in order to run this app in Ionic, I need to add another page in here, which is going to be index.html in order to allow for Electron to find index.html, otherwise it will fail to navigate to index.html. And the other issue that we have is that we're going to have to add set our base in our www.root template for index.html to dot. Otherwise, Electron is not going to be able to load the resources that it needs to load to run. Okay, so this is running, this is rebuilding, and if I go back to the app, this should still all be working. All right, So now the next thing that I need to do is to use the new platform command. So Bionic platform add Electron. This is going to go fetch the Electron plugin out of the NuGet or NuGet service and install it. Then I need to do Bionic platform init, and this is going to initialize Electron, because now I have Electron available as a plugin. So this has just created a new Electron project under the platforms directory and has compiled and got it all ready to go. And the next thing I need to do is to build my project. In other words, just copy all that it's necessary really into the Electron directory. So there we go. And the other thing I need to do is to serve. So now I've served this project and it went into my other window, but here it is. So I'm gonna close it and see if it opens in this window. It's loading. There we go. Apparently it likes to go to my other monitor by default. And so this is how quick it can be to go from 0 to Electron with Bionic. Now I'm going to do something even easier, I think. So eventually you might want to start doing more project manipulation to your directories, just dump things and retry, things like that. Things like what I've been doing in order to implement this stuff. So let's remove the whole platforms directory and we just trashed the whole platforms directory. All right, so yeah, so we can leave that running. So the next thing I want to do is to add a sequence of commands into a blast. So let this open. Yes, so Bionic looks for a file called bionic.blast under the .bionic folder where the plugins are also installed from NuGet. And in here I'm just creating a small blast script to run a sequence of commands, and it works with targets. So everything that starts with colon is a target, everything that starts with greater than is a go to Electron init, in this case target. So navigates this to this target, runs this in sequence, then navigates to Electron build target and run all these in sequence. All right, so I'm going to save this and I'm going to do Bionic blast Electron. So this is going to run this target, and it should run all those targets that are in init and also on Electron build. And so at the end I should see the Electron window come up, and here I have it already on my other monitor, and there we go. So that's how quick you can go from 0 to Electron. Also, if you start using blast commands, you can close it, and in this case I can say, all right, let's just do the Electron build, which is a much shorter command to do a .NET build, Electron build, and serve. And that's what this command does. So now I could come, for example, I'm going to close it again. I could come in here and change the counter to, say, Blazor counter. I could wait to see the change in here as well. Once this starts to stop, the reloading reloads and rebuilds. So it should be available now. So if I go into the counter page you should see Blazor counter. And if I now do a Bionic blast and I just execute again the Electron build, there's no need to initialize Electron and all that from the previous side, I should see Blazor counter as well on the Electron window. And that's it. That's all that was implemented. Hopefully by the end of next week I will have capacitor Android integration as well. This is all very experimental, so I know there's issues. If you find any, please report, and I'll try to get to it as soon as I can. Let me know what you think. Have fun. Above all, try Blazor because it's an amazing project. Take it easy.